Yes, my people, Mido Chats Football back again for another episode of This Week in the Premier League, rounding up game week 16. And as you can see, finally back in my studio, in my own place, back to normal settings. I've been away for a few weeks, but yeah, man, here to round up on this week's games. Got some massive results, massive fixtures, and a lot of movement in the table as well. So yeah, man, we'll keep it stepping. Tradition, starting off at Old Trafford with Manchester United. Oh, Manchester United 4, Bournemouth 4, and that was the most insane, absolutely mad, heart attack inducing, stroke promoting, just the craziest game ever. And it's a typical Manchester United performance to be leading 3 times and then to fucking throw it away 3 times as well. And honestly, mate, I'm still vexed. Like, I've had to do this the next day because I'm pissed. I'm pissed that we ended up with 1 point after scoring 4 goals. Are you mad? You know, this, where do I start? Because there's so much that I can go into this. I'll start with the first half here, because I'll be honest, I'm a fair guy. That first half here was some of the best football I've seen under Ruben Amorim since he's fucking been here, since his entire tenure. So I can understand that in the first half here, we should have been maybe 3, potentially 4 goals up. Like we should have slapped at least 3-4 of them chances, and that's where I gotta say, look, that's on the players. That's not necessarily on the manager in the first half, because you should be converting those chances. You know, had you have killed the game off in the first half, it wouldn't have ended up like this. But as usual, typical Manchester United form, conceding 2 goals in 5 minutes after a break, after you've taken the lead going into the second half, and you just dashed it away. You get me? Like, how many times this season are we conceding 2 goals in 5 minutes? How many times? It's a pattern that keeps happening. Happened against what? Tottenham. Happened against Forest. Now it's happening against Bournemouth. It's not acceptable, man. It's just unacceptable. You've taken the lead 3 fucking times and you still can't hold it out. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know? I did, obviously, last week against Wolves, I had a few concerns and a few issues with Cunha, but I'm glad to say that, you know, they were short-lived, because he actually had a very good game, very good performance. It's hard for me to praise these players and to praise the manager, though, when we're bottling the lead 3 fucking times, man. And those 3 points here, 2 points dropped after all that. You're letting 4 goals in at home to Bournemouth. Mad. They've not even had a win in the last 5 games. Something like that. I can't really believe Bournemouth we're going band for band with Bournemouth, and they've scored 10 goals in the last 3 Old Trafford visits. It's not good, bruv. It's not good enough. I'm just looking at Bournemouth here. Yeah, they ain't won in the last 5. They've had a draw, 2 losses, and 2 draws. Band for band, you know. They're sitting in 13th place. So I'm not coming out of this game thinking, yep, I've watched some entertaining football. I'm glad that we're scoring goals. My concern is, we're playing with a back 5 and we're fucking conceding goals left, right, centre. We're leaking goals, mate. It doesn't make any sense. How are you setting up with a back 5 and you're leaking this many goals? You know, we've conceded 26 goals this season. We've scored 20. That's -6. Deficit of 6 goals. Crazy, insane. And I don't really don't know how the manager's really going to improve on this, because there was individual errors in the defensive line that I can say, cool, Aiden Heaven, Yarrow, like they were caught sleeping, Luke Shaw as well. I can't blame that on the manager, but you know, when you're constantly setting these guys up here in a system that just doesn't fucking get the best out of them, this is what happens. If you're trying to instill an ideology that constantly leaks goals. And yes, our attack has upgraded this summer and we can see it. But our defence is so bad. I question why the hell are we playing with 5 man at the back if we're just going to let in goals like this. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand that. You get me? But after scoring 4 goals and fighting for your lives here, you come out with a single point. And the next game's at Villa Park on a Sunday. Yo, we're lost because it's finished. Good evening. Good evening is licking his lips here. Pause. Rubbing his hands together thinking, yeah, this United defence is easy food, cuz. Easy food. And I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking at Villa's form. Win. Straight greens. You get me? You can argue that they're due a loss. And, you know, they do normally have a pretty bad record against United. But they're in some top form. There's confidence. There's swagger in that team. Like, there's belief. And in the United team, I don't know if there's belief like that. Because we don't even have the belief or the fucking minerals to hold out a lead with 5 minutes to go. Again, you know? And I'm thinking back here. 2 points dropped against West Ham. 3 points dropped against Everton. And 2 points dropped again at Bournemouth. That's 7 points. 7 points better off we should have been. We should be within the 30-point top 3, top 2. That's where we should be, right? But we're not, because we're crap, lad. We're shit. You get me? We're on the levels of Chelsea and them, man. Like, just happy to be there. Settings, bro. I'll be honest. So, yeah, entertaining game for the neutrals. Arguably game of the season. Cool. I hear all that. As a United fan, fuck me, man. I can't take this anymore, bro. It's just heart attacks, stressful mania, strokes. This is it. This is the life of United fan. It's not for the faint of hearted. And I don't even want to read man's fucking comments after that game talking about how he's disappointed, this and that. Like, I'll be honest, Amram, like, this game in isolation, yeah, I'm not going to blame on the manager. Right? I'm a fair guy. I'll say, look, the players should have done better. Offensively, you need to be bagging in chances. Defensively, you stop getting caught sleeping. But when I go back to the Everton game, when I go back to the West Ham game, when I go back to the Forest game, the Tottenham game, a lot of them issues, I think, they stem from his principle and the way he implements his philosophy. Because football isn't just, tactics. Yeah, it isn't just, here's a formation and you play positions in the lineup that, you know, the team sheet. No, it doesn't work like that. That's just dumb. Who the fuck thinks of football like that? Football is all about the instructions you give to the players. You see how Cunha was transitioning from the left to centrally, occupying spaces on the left-hand side. Yeah, that's instructional. He was told to go out there and gravitate towards the left. And you saw Semenyo in the first half, yeah, he went from the left to the right before he scored the goal, and he was cooking us on that right-hand side. That's not because, man, switch the tactics. It's just instructional. It's tactical coaching. It's instructions. And Amram, I don't know if he's getting the instructions right, because we're constantly chasing our own. And it's what I said last week. We're chasing our own mistakes. We're catching up to ourselves. And I said I wasn't convinced with that Wolves game. And after this Bournemouth game, that first half, yeah, was great. Cool. But can you do it again? Can you repeat that? Can you do that for 2 halves? Can you do that for 90 minutes? Right? Because how many times are we just going to pepper teams in the first half and then come out with it with a draw? It's stupid. But yo, better than losing. I'll take the point. We're on 26 points at the moment. 11 on Liverpool. 2 behind Chelsea. I'll take it, bro. I'll be honest. Because swear down, Lemons here. Man, not Lemons, bro. They fucking saved us the point in the end. Bournemouth had a last-minute header. You know, that probably should have scored. I'll be real. They could have won 5-4. And then I'll be sitting there and I would have been crashing out, because I would have been crashing out, you know. I'm not even lying, bro. It would have been peak crash out season. God, Stresslemania, man, this team. I swear down, Stresslemania. But we move. Villa Park next Sunday. Oi, absolute class, mate. We're getting packed into a spliff, but we'll see you next week, innit? We'll see you then, man. we're going to go over to the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. And it was a mad game, yeah. I'm not going to lie, because Wolves scored all 3 fucking goals. 2 own goals. And obviously they got the goal in like the 90th minute, whatever it was. 3 points on the board for Arsenal, cool. But I'm not going to lie, yeah, there's some serious cause for concern now, yeah, man. Their attack is not, it's just not attacking. You know, they look very lazy in build up. It's just very sluggish, very slow, side to side, to the wings, into the box. You know, Gyökeres is not looking anywhere near the striker that Arsenal need. You know, his holder play is really poor. I think he's too fat. Personally, I just think he needs to lose some fucking weight, man. He's too big, too bulky for the league. He's not really using his technique. He's using his strength. He's doing a Liam Delap thing, man, a Hoyland thing. You get me? IKEA Delap and that. And that's what it is with Gyökeres. I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of refrained from just going in on him, yeah, because Arsenal been winning games. But after that performance, like this guy here was apparently what I've been told, he was brought in to bag goals against a team like Wolves, against the fucking Burnleys, against these little low block teams. You get me? He's a flat track bully. That's what he's been brought for, and he's not doing it. I'll be honest. Arsenal, the way they play, the way they build up, the way they hold possession, they suit an Ekitike, even a Sesko, like a Walter Mard, a striker with link up, a striker who can receive, ping it back, play little 1-2s and find space, a false 9, you know, and Gyökeres just isn't that. So it'll be interesting to see if they decide to keep him in the summer, because I don't see this guy improving. I don't see him suddenly just adapting the ability to fucking to hold the ball up and start actually being more of a provider, facilitator, a false 9. And we saw the difference when Gabby Jesus came on, and he's after being out for how long, and you just see on the ball is night and day apart. And if Arsenal, because let's be honest, yeah, this Wolves team is fucking shit, yeah. It's absolute crap. And Man United slapped 4 past them the week before. And I weren't convinced with that Man United performance. So if you're an Arsenal fan and you're thinking you're pushing for the league, you're struggling to score open fucking play goals against Wolves, the worst Premier League team we've seen, like, since fucking Derby County, mate. I thought Southampton last season was the worst year. This Wolves team is worse than Southampton. I'm telling you now, miles off it. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking this is our season, we are gonna push, you know, for the league, and you're struggling to score open play goals against Wolves, nah, there's a cause of concern. That's a serious worry there. And again, Arteta, I'm looking at you, because why are you playing Zubimendi Rice? Why are you playing that kind of midfield at home against Wolves when you could have slapped on Odegaard and Eze, or even throwing Ethan Nwaneri in the mix, because he's fucking better than Gyökeres at facilitating the ball, you get me, holding up play. I'm sure, yeah, they could have, Arteta, it could have been more risk adverse, or rather, it could have been more risk calculated. You could have calculated risk better, rather. You should have, at the very least, yeah, played Eze and Odegaard together at the same time, I think. When you have 2 8s and a 6 with Rice, and I'll be honest, like, what's the reason why Madueke didn't even get minutes? Because you saw what he did. And I'm not the biggest fan of Madueke, yeah, but obviously you're seeing what he's doing midweek Champions League. He's in hot form, and then you bench him for the next game against Wolves, the same Wolves team that this guy loves to score goals against. He got a fucking hat-trick last season, was it? Or was it with Chelsea? So, man's used to dunking on their clock, and you put him on the bench, you get me? So, I have seen a lot of Arsenal fans losing their minds there over the win. And you would have thought they would have lost, right? The way they were reacting. But I'll be honest, like, if I was in that position, I would be crashing out too, because it's unacceptable at this point. I mean, you're pushing for a league. Everyone's really, really hoping, as an Arsenal fan, that you get over the line this year. And when you're watching performances like that, and let's keep it a buck, since the Chelsea 1-1, it's been a very poor kind of run of form for Arsenal, especially away from home. They lost to Villa. They obviously weren't able to make a statement win against Wolves. And after the Villa loss here, I was expecting maybe 4 or 5 goals for Arsenal against Wolves, because that Wolves team was so dead, bro. It's nuts. Yeah, nothing, no kind of, there was no signs of a attack that looks fluid, that looks like it's ready just to slap in goals, you get me? Like, they're not purring at all, not at all. And now it is a cause of concern, because City are fucking 2 points, 1 point even, what was it? I don't know, what, City 2 points off, Villa 3 points off, like, it's Villa 3 points off, you get me? After the mad start they had, you would have thought that they'd be fighting for mid-table, but this is it. So, yes, 3 points. Yes, it's not a total crash out for Arsenal, because they're still top of the table, you get me? I'm going to be honest. But that attacking display, yeah, it was woeful. Absolutely woeful. And if you're not going to win a league like that, I'm sorry, I'm just calling it a buck now. Yeah, there's no fucking chance here you're going to win the Premier League if you're going to keep repeating performances like that, especially against low block teams, the smaller teams. I'm sorry, like, when you had opportunities in the summer to buy those profiles to unlock the low block, you bought Eze. You've got the likes of Ethan Waneri, you've got the likes of Odegaard, you've got the likes of Trossard. Like, these are very good technical players. There's no excuse now, yeah, for you not to be, this team set up in low block and therefore we couldn't beat them, couldn't break them down. Like, I'm not hearing that. I'm sorry. It's a must. Arsenal must this season, and their attack definitely has a long way to go. Yeah, I think. And next, we're gonna go over to Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Manchester City 3, and I'm not gonna lie, City absolutely whooshed them differently. I will say though, in the first half, Palace, you should have been 2-3-0 up. And if I'm keeping it a buck here, I'm seeing parallels between Palace and United when we beat them 2-1. The first half, Palace should have buried us. Again, first half, Palace should have buried City. Like, Pino hit the crossbar, I think. A couple of chances from Mateta. Mateta's really kind of dropped off form as well recently. And then City just had, the difference between City and Palace at the end of the day was just individual quality in the final third. Shirky is absolutely looking like the steal of the season so far. Was it £30 million? He's performing at a very high level, and it's kind of crazy to see how fast he's adapted to the Premier League. But French league players, more physical. Look at the likes of Ekitike, Yoro, Cherky, and they've adapted quite well compared to the German players, Sesko, Wirtz, Simmons. So that's a separate video I can do maybe down the line. But Foden, like Cherky, first and foremost, I'm really very, very impressed with how fast he's hit the ground running, yeah, and just how fast he's acclimatized to the culture here, because he seems like he's been playing his whole life since the academy. The way his swagger, the way he's balling out, like his kind of arrogance on the ball, I love it. Like, it's the kind of football that I grew up on. It's the football that makes me love football, makes me watch football, yeah. And I'm just really glad that we've actually got some fucking ballers to watch for once, because Cherky is cold, mate, and the way he's linking up with Foden, the way they're linking up with Haaland, and next thing you know, this City attack, it's suddenly not Haaland FC anymore, you get me? And this was the main concern. Oh, what happens if Haaland, if he falls off, or if his goals dry up, or this or that? But Foden is saying, nah, hold my beer, blood. I know last season I didn't have the best season, but this is my time to kind of pull my name out of the mud, so to speak. And he's doing a mad job. He's on a mad kind of goal scoring form at the moment. It doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. The only thing I do have concern, and still have concerns here, and I'm not as convinced, is on the defensive side for City, because Palace here, they were in multiple times, in that game. They should have and could have. I think Wharton hit the post in the second half as well. They should have at least scored 1 or 2 goals. So a better quality side in the final third, yeah, they would have damaged City. Only thing is, I don't know many sides with a better attack or better quality in the final third, other than City. Maybe Bayern Munich, you get me, PSG, but other than that, like City's attack, you got Haaland, Shirky, Foden. If you really wanted to, you can introduce Doku, I think he was injured. He wasn't even playing. I know the wingers other than Doku aren't the best, Xavien, Oscar Bob, but they've still got quality in the midfield. You've got obviously Reinders, Nico Gonzalez, obviously Rodri's still yet to return. Attacking wise, like, I don't think it's an issue, but I just don't think, I'm just not convinced on the defense, to be honest. But we'll see in it. We'll see what happens. They've got interesting running games now. So, you know, at the start of the season, I had City as favourites to win the league. And it's currently looking like maybe their attack is pairing a bit more than Arsenal's. Therefore, they will probably get the jump on them soon. That game at the Etihad, Arsenal versus City, is now looking more and more like the biggest fucking game of the season. So that'll be one to... That game will decide, which way this title kind of run goes, to be honest. But all in all, City, 3 points in the bag again. You know, they're not even clicking yet in terms of their defensive structure, but I don't think there's much for them to do. At the end of the day, this is Pep Guardiola, mate. This is what he does. How many times has he been in this position chasing down Arsenal? You get me? So you can. I know for a fact he's feeling confident. City fans are feeling confident, and the players are probably feeling confident too. So it was a massive result in the end. I do think Palace are definitely struggling with Europe, with their squad. Glasner's obviously come out and said that as well, that they had a choice between investing and saving. They chose to save. So obviously shots at Parish, you get me, chairman of Palace, but that's Glasner saying, yo, fuck you lot, I'm gone. End of the summer, I'm done at you. Like, I don't give a shit no more. He's done the best he's could and he's walking in the summer. So I feel for Palace because they actually had the foundations of something to build on, especially in Europe. And I feel like the lack of spending has kind of pissed it all down the wall now. But yeah, man, 3 points for City, more pressure onto Arsenal. It's obviously going to get more and more heated now. Now, I'm going to have to include a small segment for Villa because these men are moving mad, yeah? West Ham 2, Aston Villa 3. 5-goal thriller in the end. But Unai Emery, what are you cooking? Because this is nuts now. You've gone, a mad winning streak, like winning 12 and 13 or something like that in all competitions. Again, showing resilience, coming down from behind twice. You know what I'm saying? There was a stupid error, first minute, which gave West Ham the lead. But you clawed back, and West Ham took the lead again, and then you clawed back, courtesy of Morgan Rogers, and then he went on to get a winner as well. 2 great goals. But I just need to include this segment, just dedicate it to Emery, because the turnaround from going the first 5 games without a win, I think without a goal scored, to now 3 points off Arsenal, 3rd place. Now we're having serious conversations about Aston Villa title charge, and I never would have thought. No one at the start of the season would have predicted this, especially with their squad and the amount of outgoings they had and the lack of incomings in the summer. I'm looking around at the competition. I don't think Tottenham better than them. I don't think United are better than them. We're not better than Villa. I don't think Chelsea are better than them. And I don't think Liverpool are better than them either, even though they're beating Anfield. But overall as a team, I don't think they are better than Aston Villa. So I'm looking at the teams who are better than Villa. You can argue at Arsenal, who Villa beat anyway, Man City. So there's no reason why you can't have Aston Villa in the conversation as those two when it comes to title charge. And Emery's proven it now that if he can keep this form, and he's got a tough kind of run of fixtures now. I believe they've got Man United coming up. They've got City and Newcastle. I can't remember, but it's a potential for Villa to drop off now. Yeah. So if they do, we'll see in it what minerals Emery has and what minerals the team has, because this would be an incredible Cinderella story if they were to even push to the last kind of couple points on the last couple of days of title charge. It would be amazing to witness. But I just want to shout out Morgan Rogers as well. Finally picking up form, because I've been critical of him because I know how good he is, so I hold him to a standard. So when I criticise his lack of his ghosting in the bigger games, right, especially in the Wolves derby, for example, I thought he had a very poor game. I was calling him out, but well done, fair play. He shut me up, because the screamer, the two screamers he scored, mad still, especially that second goal against West Ham, madness. And he's been scoring screamers this season. Like, his catalogue goals been mad this season. So fair play to Morgan Rogers. Big up Villa, big up Emery, doing bits. And I like to see a title charge, man. I'll be honest, like, I'll be rooting for them, because I think they've got a very likeable, solid team, good footballers. There's got absolute ballers in it. I rate Euro Tielemans. I rate their DM Kamada. I rate Konza. I rate McGinn as well. I rate Buendia, like Morgan Rogers, obviously. They've got quite a lot of decent quality ballers in there. So big up Aston Villa, big up Emery, title charge. We will be there. Quickly moving on to Anfield, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0. Light work in the end for Liverpool, can't lie. Ekitike with the brace, and Ekitike proving why he should be Liverpool's number one main striker. I'm sorry, but Isak, mate, 130 M's, he's sitting on a bench looking like some Ozempic Saeed, looking like a scrub. And Isak's not a shit player, but it proves that he was never worth 130 M's. I'm sorry. The way Newcastle play football, the way they set up, the way they feed the ball to Isak is the complete opposite of the way Liverpool play. And you're seeing that because Isak doesn't have the ability to drop deep, to pick up the ball, to drive with it the way Ekitike does, to link play the way Ekitike does. And it just doesn't seem to have the hunger, I don't think, or the desire. Maybe the shirt is too heavy for him. I don't know. And yes, I know Liverpool got the 3 points, and I'm not going to spend too long crashing it on them, but this Isak Ekitike situation, like I called it from early, this is another Haaland Alvarez, that's City, yeah. You can't have two guys being the guy. Like, you can't have two number 9s who want to be him. There can only be one. The other one has to either drop his pride, say you can have it, or I'm gone. That's what happened with Alvarez. He left City, and I think this is what will happen with Ekitike, because he's not going to get sidelined for their £130 million superstar signing, which is obviously Alexander Isak. If he's constantly sitting on a bench, surely there's going to be more noise and questions as to why the £130 million signing is sitting on a bench. And if Ekitike constantly gets dropped in favour of Isak, even though he's the one in hot form, then he will bounce, mate. Don't get it twisted. He will leave. Like, I can see it happening already. So, shout out Ekitike though, because I think out of all the strikers this summer, we're talking about the new strikers, yeah. Ekitike is the only one, in my opinion, who's actually fucking proved his worth. He's clearer Gyökeres, clearer Sesko. He's better than Delap. He's better than all these lot, man, I'll be honest. And I'm looking at Ekitike like, wow. Maybe imagine if Arsenal bought you. Like, that, I'd actually fucking see that attack doing bits if that was an Ekitike instead of Gyökeres, get me? Or even Ekitike at United instead of Sesko, because I think he's just got more. He's just got more in his game, or he's more well-rounded on the ball. I think he's brilliant. He's ball striking. He's got a good catalogue of finishes as well. Very, very solid all-round player, and he is Liverpool's best player. Let's have it right. Liverpool's best striker, probably one of the best strikers in the league. And I think out of all the new strikers, yeah, I mean, Ekitike is being the best, and the second best probably Waltermard, Newcastle's. Those two, showing up Isak, showing up Gyökeres, showing up Sesko even to some extent. So we'll see how that one unfolds, in it. But I just don't see a team, if they're both firing, yeah, like one of them's gonna have to leave. They can't both be firing and both be the guy, both be him. You get me? So interesting to see. But obviously 3 points on the board for Liverpool. They must surely find some kind of confidence coming back, and good for them, innit? Good for them. They've been mudded for long enough, and I think it's only a matter of time before, you know, they do find some semblance of form and try to push for the top four. I think the title's obviously done, but they're more than capable of finishing top four, and I think that will be, considering how the season how it's gone, that wouldn't be a bad season for them. So yeah, I guess just 3 points and keep it stepping for Liverpool, and we'll see, you know, how they perform next week. Oh man, I'm gonna have to quickly touch on Tottenham, yeah, because fuck, you know, these lot are finished. Nottingham Forest 3, Top Spurs 0. Top Spur Biscott eating a pack. Rast up. Absolutely finito, man. Coloss. Done out here. Thomas Frank, mate. I think your time's up. Don't know if you're going to last much longer, to be honest. Especially if you maintain these very poor performances. What, 0.1 XG again. Just bodies on a pitch, mannequin challenge, you get me, standing around looking clueless. It's mad. Considering the start, how everyone was glazing up Thomas Frank, and you know how they're doing so well and this and that, and this app's fallen off an absolute cliff, and I genuinely see this brother getting sacked. He's not going to last long. Sorry, I can't see it. If they keep this form up here, they'll be finishing 16th again. That's not even a cap, because their next run of fixtures is a what? And they've got Champions League as well, so their squad isn't. They've got so many injuries out. Kulusevski, Madison, Solanke, like the regular first team players missing. My man's slapping Kolo Muani on the wing and that. You know what I'm saying? It's just all mad. So Thomas Frank, I don't know, you know, how long he's gonna last. I don't see him lasting that long, I'll be honest. Maybe a couple months, if that. Maybe 2 more losses. 2 more bad losses, and that fan base turmoil, mate. Like they're crashing out. So it's peak for them, man. Still, but the game's a game. Fair play to Forest. 3 points in the bag. Elliot Anderson again, balling out. We need him at Man United desperately. But yeah, man, bun Tottenham minute. That's all I can say. Right, we're just going to quickly round up on the table for this week. After match week 16, we have Arsenal, first place, 36 points. Manchester City, 2 points behind on 34 in second place. Aston Villa on the incredible win streak, 33 points, 1 behind City. Mad turnaround from Emery, man, I'll be honest. Chelsea, 4th place, 28 points. Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Liverpool and Sunderland all on 26 points between 5th and 8th. Very congested. We have Everton in 9th on 24 points. Brighton on 23 points in 10th place. We have the top Spurs, 22 points. 11th. Newcastle United in 12th, also on 22. 13th place Bournemouth on 21, 14th place Fulham on 20, 15th place Brentford, 16th Nottingham Forest, who have found themselves creeping out of the relegation zone. Leeds in 17th place on 16 points, also find themselves creeping slowly out of that relegation zone. And then we have West Ham
Burnley and Wolves in the relegation zone on 13 points, 10 points, and 2 points respectively. Yeah, Wolves is peak blood. Man said 2 points in December. It's almost Christmas next week. There are 2 points. Wait, that's dark. But yeah, man, it's been a very interesting week, and I'll be honest, this title race this season is heating up, and I'm very excited to see how this goes down next week as well, because we've got some massive fixtures next week too. So stay locked in, stay tuned. Obviously, if you like what I'm doing, please give me a like or subscribe, leave a comment. I really appreciate that. It really helps with the algorithm and all that and them things there. But until then, peace. Catch you on the next one.